Wouldn't mind giving these a good squeeze in a week or two. These are a fine and dandy pair as well. Well guys, the video's back on and we've got a special video for you today. Very excited to do this one, and I'll just give you a bit of a background before we get into what I reckon about farming, because it was Cameron who asked me the question when we were out for a meal not so long ago with his lovely family. He had about 50 questions for Leigh during the evening, some very difficult ones I might add, and he asked me, he said, what do you reckon about farming? I was like, oh, well my instant reaction was, an answer rather, was it makes you hurt, makes your body hurt, but it's good fun and it doesn't feel like work. And then I thought, oh, it was such a good question, it deserved a bit of a better answer. So I elaborated a little bit more, but then I thought today when they left, I thought, well, surely that will make a good video. So I'm gonna have a wander around. I need to check something on the farm. I've been a good boy, put the rice on. Toon's nipped into town, she's getting the photos printed out for me from a visa renewal application. My flowers are doing all right. My bargains. Oh, I haven't been sat on my backside, as Toon would have you believe, guys. The second stand is all done. I haven't split any of these in here. There's quite a few plants that I could have split, but time was of the essence. And yeah, so I just topped them up, give them a good water. Topped them up, I mean, with my with the compost. Still a few to do here and there. Still plenty of compost though, so it's not a drama. Still got about 200 litres in stock, and everything growing nicely down here. Been pruning everything as well, or not everything, but a lot of things. Toon's plant this, totally neglected, as all her plants are. So if it wasn't for yours truly, things like this wouldn't be doing half as well. It's a thankless task. Just pruned the bougainvillea. Still yet to initiate our herb tyres. I've got a few more plants and trees to go in here. Been putting the trees in the last couple of days, and we've got a couple of little old bamboo tables there. They are a bit rickety though, so I'm not sure how much life we're going to get out of those, but never mind. Right, let's get on. This papaya was looking pretty sad. It was worn and torn up here, so I chopped it off underneath, well below where it was struggling. And I saw someone else come up with this idea: plastic bag, that over the top, stop the rain getting in the top, because they've got a hollow bit going through them, so it's easy to rot. And it started sprouting about a week after me cutting it, so we'll see. It's got two choices, isn't it? Not looking bad, are they, eh? So yeah, the first thing I said about being a farmer is it makes your body ache, and boy does it. Well, those of you that are running a farm, guys, it's you know as well as I do, it's pretty demanding. That's if you're hands-on. I appreciate not everyone is sort of like all in, same Toon as I, and a lot of obviously a lot of other people are, and of course our age comes into it as well, doesn't it? Sometimes as we get older we either downsize. I've seen some people downsizing recently, trying to sell portions off of their farm, not actually letting whole farms go. Or you get more help in, don't you, if your farm's generating enough income that you can up the help and running of the farm. So it takes a bit of stress and strain off the body, so there's less aches and pains and more time to recoup. And yeah, you can probably get a few more years out of your life on the farm, I dare say. Yeah, so I think with aches and pains in our bodies, yes, it can obviously get worse as we get older, but it's the recovery time. Oh, there's a big fish down there. I wonder what that is. It's going along the bank. This is some monitor lizard. Yeah, recovery time. So personally for Toon and I, you know, we knock off, so to speak, as it gets dark. Oh, there's a head come up down there. Can you see it? What the heck is it? Is that a monitor lizard? Oh, that is big. Yeah, it is. Right, let's go round there. He's just coming up to the fence. He might get out. I'm practically noshing the back of the camera because they've got brilliant hearing and eyesight. He's spotted me already. He's right next to a stick that's poking up out the water. If I move, he's gone. But I think this is the one. That looks a pretty similar size. I'm only guessing because I see the size of his head. But we spotted him in the fence. Oh, looked like he grabbed something. And he's off again. Right. Yeah, the fence pond here, there's a big mango tree in there. And Toon spotted him. It was quite well camouflaged halfway up the tree. And I don't know if he was after the birds' nests or nesting birds rather, or what. But yeah, he's a unit anyway, not full size. Yeah, so where was I, Leigh? Yeah, so yeah, Toon and I normally clock off as it gets dark. So we put the goats away last light, and then Toon generally pops into the kitchen and works her magic, whistling up something glorious for dinner. So you're clocking off, you know, what's the minute, about 7 o'clock, something like that, and then we're up at about, at the moment we're up at about 6:30. Well, I'm up at about 6:30 just to get a brew, and I think you're looking at about 7:15 before we're back at it, you know. So when you've had a hard day or an extra hard day the day before, you haven't got a lot of time for your body to recoup. I think eating well obviously helps. We do take supplements on top of that. But yeah, it all is a bit of a strain on the old body. And I used to like running. If I break into a jog now, my back, my God, it's not happening. It's really not happening. So yeah, I mean I don't know, if I wasn't on the farm, would I be in a worse state? I really don't know. I feel healthy. I had a couple of setbacks this last year, but apart from that, my overall health feels a lot better. So the aches and pains are probably the biggest physical hardship that you'll have here on the farm. There are times when you physically can't do something that needs to be done, so that can be quite frustrating. To me, the biggest trick about farming, my biggest secret, is farm something that you absolutely love, and don't compromise on it as much as you can, really, because if you choose something that you're absolutely head over heels in love with, you simply adore goats or whatever it is for you. It might be that you love growing fruit, vegetables, whatever it is that floats your boat, go for that. Obviously, you know, the coin comes into it as well. There's no point in having a 50 rye morning glory farm when it grows it grows like wildfire anyway. So yeah, as long as you can meet the financial side of things, then go for what you love. But because if you don't, for me it would feel like a job. And one of the whole reasons coming out here was to get away from that sort of thing, you know, on the old hamster wheel. You could say, well, you're still on the hamster wheel, Leigh, because you have to get your arse out of bed, you know, at crazy o'clock, and you're working all day. You might only get half an hour in a hammock if you're lucky. Toon has 2 hours, obviously. But it's totally different. It really is totally different. And I've said the day when goat farming doesn't, if it starts to feel like a job, will be the day that we give up. Really will be. So yeah, there's sometimes you wake up and it's pouring with rain in the morning, it's high winds, and you've got to put your wellies on. You know you're going to get soaking wet, you're still sweating, or there's mud up to your knees, there's water going in through the tops of your wellies, and it is really hard going. But in the back of your mind, the goats need feeding, you love your goats, so you just crack on and do it, don't you? There's no hiding from it. That's the thing. You've got to do it. And as I say, unless you're, I was going to say, in the enviable position of having people work for you. I mean, Toon and I prefer to have as few people helping us as possible, because that's where the enjoyment is, doing all this, and you get a great sense of achievement as well. Pick something you love, and if it's all possible, pick the land that really sort of like you feel a connection to. Toon and I never dreamt in a million years that we would actually end up owning this land, and you know, we didn't even contemplate it. We thought it wasn't even going to be an option, and lo and behold, we got a phone call out of the blue one day, and we had to make a snap decision. We were like, well, I don't know, really, never thought about it. We always wanted to be on a farm, and within the blink of an eye, within the week, we were out here, and we took over ownership of the farm, and never looked back. And it's proven to sort of like you mind, I'm trying to make a video. Hoop hoop hoop. Bloody wildlife, eh? Now, I mean, we've had this place for years. Every year that passes, you love it more and more. So not only do we love farming, we love the land that our farm is on. Everything's starting to green up nicely now. Still not getting an awful lot of rain, if I'm totally honest with you. Oh, we've got two knuckbed nams going off through the last line of eucalyptus over there. So they're a wild Thai duck. Good to see them again, and they're always flying from over here. So that I think they're in near Poacher's Nook, which is lovely, having a couple of wild ducks setting up shop, either on the lake or next to it. They might be in the drainage canal back. Hey, flipping wild dogs here. Oi, get out! Out! Hey, good, good. Hey, good, good. Where's me flipping catapult when I need one, eh? Go on, jog on. Where the heck are our hounds from hell? Maybe you should seeing them off before against 3. Be like the gypsies, isn't it? Always outnumbering you. You didn't stand a chance. No, not even Bebo's out here. Ridiculous. Right, let's be very careful here, Leigh. I do belie my years. I'm so agile and well balanced. Similar really to a 13-year-old gymnast, I imagine. Right. Hold on tightly. Oh, I didn't tell you, we had Mr. Naughty, who lives near us. He was poking around the far end of the land last week. It's the first time I've ever shouted at someone. Oh my word. How balance, Leigh. Come on now. First time I've ever shouted to someone in Thailand that wasn't Toon. Yeah, or a dog, like just before. So he was sniffing around the old secret Narnia pond down there. And so sorry, Jared, he's probably had the tilapia that you'd been eyeballing. And yeah, I told him that I wasn't best pleased to see a spotlight over there, and would you mind moving along and going back to whence you came. And yeah, he went, oh, there's a Mekong bub in here. What I mean by that is it's filter feeding. So there's a wind coming in here from left to right, and he'll have his snout into that, and he'll be a few feet under the water, and he'll just be noshing the old algae or zooplankton. Actually, there's two in there. I don't know if it's picking it up. No, there's three. There's one there as well. There you go, Chris. I know you'll be watching, mate. Mekong's on the feed. That's going to test your waggler rod when you get here, isn't it, eh? Right, so where was I? Getting sidetracked with these fish. We did throw some bread in the other day when they were here, hoping that they would see a couple of nice ones, but it was only small fish that were poking around, and Bebo and the other three dogs were trying to steal all the bread anyway, so it was a bit of a non-start really. Where's those dogs gone? Oh, one's moved over there now. Oh, that's lovely to see. Mr. Naughty Man hasn't poached them out of here then. We are walking around here now and again, but we can see most of the lake from our bedroom window, which is, let's try and get this. So you've got the goat house there. To the right hand side of the goat house there's a white bit. That's the back of our house and our bedroom. So any head torches. The only time we do fret a little bit is when you got a full moon. You can pretty much walk around the whole lake with no torch at all. You can even see the small stones on the Moon Rock Road. Pick the right thing for you that you enjoy to farm. Pick the right land, and you're well on your way. The next thing is getting your team together. So as most of you will know, we've got 50 rye. Where you see the last line of eucalyptus, so you see the white tree trunks poking up along there, that's the boundary of 40 rye, and then behind that there's a further 10 rye, and Toon's mum, we let her do what she wants with that year upon year. So we're basically running 40 rye. You could probably knock off another 8 rye for the lake, maybe. It's a difficult one because of the shape of it, and obviously when it's full rainy season it's probably about another 2 rye bigger. At the moment it's still right there. You can see the lower shelf all exposed, so it's going to come right up. Oi, get out, you absolute nut job. You don't even know where you got in, did you? Go on, you prat. Go on, take your poxy paws out of here. Oh, the other, oh, hang on. Oh, 3 challenged dogs. I tell you what, if Toon was here, be a spade at the back of the head. You absolute numpties. Looks like a flipping fox, that one. Right, we're going to have to scare them because they're obviously in the wrong place. Go on, get out. Good. Good. Please don't send any hate mail. I did throw a stone, but I wasn't aiming at them. It was nowhere near. I'm not going to flipping stroke them, am I? It's a flipping goat farm, isn't it? I've been letting all this grow nice and tall. We're going to let the goats have a binge on here one day. Keep it for emergencies. Remember, you never know what's round the corner. Yeah, so can I do this one-handedly? Getting a team together, people you can trust. Easier said than done sometimes, isn't it? Just like doing this gate up one-handed. Minute. Oh, you plonker. Done in the blink of an eye. The amount of frustration that we had over the years getting people in to supposedly help us, but in fact making things a lot worse. So, you know, we were fortunate in the end to get someone that was brilliant and we did see Leigh today, but unfortunately he works away now, so until he's ready to sort of like retire from the building trade, he can't really make enough money with what he needs working for us. So we did pop round today. He was back just for one day, and said, when you're ready to retire, mate, there's a job here for you. You won't be rich, but you'll have a steady income, and we will actually pay you. The old building trade, they don't always get paid at the end of a contract, which is quite frustrating for them, obviously. I think what the issue is when it's your land and you're all in, you know, you're totally into it. Very few people will put the extra effort in. They won't go the extra yard that you do. So I'll give you an example. So we've had all this area prepared to put the napier in. We did something similar over a year ago. We got some help in to pin all the napier, well, to pin some of the napier in, and I had to go and repin it. And I shoved it in about ½ inch. So you know, if it's your napier, you know if it's going to fall over because you haven't put it in properly. Someone else, they're not going to be so bothered, are they? I wouldn't be bothered. I take the money and so if they fall over, it's your napier, mate. So find some good help if you need help, and look after them, and they'll help to look after you. If you can find someone that's experienced in the farm work and had a farm before, and for whatever reason they haven't been able to continue with that, and you're getting someone who's very experienced, there's so much to learn. And I didn't even know they were red lapwings until about a year or two ago. They're the ones that keep you up all night, and the dogs start barking at them. The mental side of things, you've got to learn so much. Unless you're going to do something like an annual monocrop, or perhaps a seasonal monocrops like corn, rice, tapioca. They're the main sort of three things around here. Yeah, there's still plenty of stuff to learn about that. But if you're going to be sort of like diverse, so for us, you know, we had to learn about the palms, the bamboo, certainly the goats, the crayfish. I think that's about it. But yeah, the different trees, different plants. We try to do companion planting. Obviously we're 100% organic and have been for quite a long time now. And learning about soil. I think out of everything, learn your soil. Yeah, don't just learn about soil, learn about your soil, and what it's lacking in, and how to rectify it. You know, including the water as well. You know, how you're gonna water everything. So for us, you know, the dry season, what are you gonna do? Because you know, when we first started planting stuff, the amount of stuff that we lost and nearly lost, and yeah, and if you're going organic, it all sounds hunky-dory, but you brace yourself, because certainly where we are, we're the only ones that are organic, apart from one other guy who's about 2 kilometres away, and he does organic rice. So everyone else sprays around here, and guess where the bugs like to go? So you've got to be willing to take a hit and stick with what you believe in. Yeah, sometimes you do have to give up on something. We've given up on plenty of things, like ducks. You know, it just was not paying for, well, it was paying, but not adequately enough for the amount of hours that we were putting into it. And I think as a farmer, you've got to be willing to take and cope with the setbacks, because we do make loads and loads of mistakes. Even experienced farmers do. But all I can say about that is, as time goes on and you get a far greater depth of knowledge under your belt, you make less mistakes. And don't beat yourself up too much about it when you do make a mistake. Just don't make the same mistake twice. It is more difficult, I grant you that, if you make mistakes with livestock, because I've said it before and I'll never change my mind on it. when you make a mistake, it's not uncommon for an animal to die, and that's your doing. You made the mistake, so there's nothing you can do about it once they've gone, but you better make damn sure that you don't make the same mistake twice. And this is what we're trying to convey to someone that's got goats around here. And I think I mentioned them in a previous video briefly, where all 20 goats had died, and then they came round seeing if we would sell them some goats, and we said no. And Toon was sort of like speaking to her husband on the side. She did find out how they all died, because she was saying, what shots do you give them? She said, what do you mean shots? What dewormer do you give them? You know, oral dewormer and a shot under the skin for that sort of worm parasite in the skin, and what sort of shot for internal parasites? Oh no, we don't give them shots. Well, there's your 20 goats dead then. There's the reason why. And they've just gone and bought another 20 from somewhere else. So yeah, the same, unfortunately, the same is likely to happen to those. One good thing about if you go down the diversity route, I don't mean the dance troupe, and you plant different stuff. I mean, if a Thai farmer comes around here, he'd be like, what the hell are you doing letting this grow? Cut it down now. Get in. You know, these seed pods, they'll split open, and there'll be more growing. It's a nightmare to get rid of. Why are you growing weeds? Well, we feed our goats with that. So that's one get in that we haven't got to go and cut off site. Oh, there's some more, there's some more, some more. We could have fields of that. Well, we are putting them in and transplanting all the little new plants that are growing. Moringa as well. So, you know, it's food for the goats. It's food for Toon and I. So Thai people love to eat the seed pods. You can eat the new leaves as well. You can dry them, powder them, put them in capsules if you want, and brilliant medicinal benefits. Just the nutritional value is off the scale with these. We've got some old seed pods on this particular one. It's only 1.5 years old, this tree, and I'm going to be hacking it down very soon. So the goats will get most of the foliage. We'll just throw the whole tree over in several parts. I'll get the seeds and then grow some more. What the goats don't eat wood wise, I will cut into sort of like 1.5 meter long sections and plant once the proper rains come. So stick them in the ground and get another moringa tree. And they're also a nitrogen fixer as well, incredibly fast growing. So Adam, that was coming from a farm stay with his family that I mentioned at the start of the video, they've got a nice plot of land, I think 7 rye, and they're not ready to come out here for a few more years, but he wants to put some trees in there, some pioneer trees, just to get a bit of height up so that when they come back it's not just a blank canvas. And I did recommend moringa. You'll have a full grown tree 2 years time, easy. You can put your bananas in, can't you? No problem. So if you were going down the monocrop route or seasonal crops, then what can occur? What about if your crop fails for whatever reason? It could be pests, it could be weather conditions. So we have the flood aspect out here, not just the droughts in the dry season. Your crop fails, you might, if you're lucky, you might get a bit of a handout from the government, but you've got no food of your own. And this is something that I have been aware of for quite some time. So we have started growing a lot more of our own fruit and veg. Currently a little bit lacking on the veg side of things, purely because of the time scale, with us having so many more goats than we normally have, and I won't go into that again. So our goat chores are taking up a lot longer, a lot more hours than they normally do. But yeah, once we get on top of that and things return to the new norm, then yeah, we'll have a bit more time to grow more vegetables again. I think also being willing to work with nature, as you know, as much as you can. I've said it a few times before and people knock it a bit. You know, you can't control nature, that is for sure. So, you know, just look at the seasons, look at your soil. If you want to grow durian fruit, you know, is your soil, is the area that your farm's located, is it suitable for them, rather than trying to really force the issue. It might mean that you can't do durian, but you can do jackfruit or something like that. Or you can look for perhaps a smaller plot of land that's more expensive in the areas that are more suited to the crop that you want to grow. I mean, for Toon and I, we didn't know what we wanted to grow. We just knew we wanted to grow, and we knew we wanted a lake. And we like to forage. We like to hunt, forage. We like a lot of the wild things that grow on the land. So, you know, if you've got a farm and you get plenty of diversity in what you're planting, then you'll never be short of food, that's for sure. I always tell Toon, I ask Toon before she goes in the car, so what's for dinner, what we got? She goes, got nothing. And then 10 minutes later, she started cooking, she's gone and found something. I don't mean she goes out and slaughters a goat. Lovely, isn't it? This is one of my favourite views, and it's going to get better and better as the years go by. And I think that's something else. You know, when you start on a farm, quite often it's been ploughed to death, isn't it? You know, you just got bare soil. So what are you going to do with it? It's just, I mean, if we'd started over again, I'd have done a lot of things differently. I would have ploughed straight away, levelled everything off, and took a few other trees out that weren't in the right place. I'd have put swales in, and so, you know, it's that, again, it's that lack of knowledge when you first start. You know, we're just like, oh, let's throw a load of bamboo in here on the left. I mean, it's doing very well. We've got to be happy with that, considering we've not had a huge amount of rain. Look at it, it's brilliant. But in hindsight, where we've just had the work done here on the right, that's where it should have gone. You live and learn, don't you? It's still going to be beautiful. All the napier starting to grow down here. Toon was in the canal, what is it now? It's the day before we had Adam's family come for a couple of days. So say 3 days ago, she did a Thai mermaid impression, and she was diving down, popping in these. We've got 2 varieties of water lilies that one of Toon's friends gave her for free. So I think we had about 6 plants, and she's popped them in, and it looks like they're coping. Did see one fish in here. It's alive with shrimp, and some of the we've got some big trees that we've put in here, or that, well, they're not big yet, but they will be big. And I'm going to put moringa in here, mulberries as well. And there was a guy that was telling me about a video on YouTube about growing super napier and lucina, moringa and all that sort of thing intensively, and then it's cut and carry for the goats. And one of the things that they were growing was mulberries, and that grows very well in our acidic soil. So we've already got 2 mulberry bushes, and I'd already taken probably about 30 cuttings, but if we can get a big storm, then all this will be soft enough just to pin it all in. While I'm here, actually, just as an update on the situation, you can see it's not smooth. We got another tractor in, and it got the discs on the back, cut it up and improved it a little bit, but no one will come with their, oh, I can't remember what it's called now. Someone did mention it, and I was like, oh, that's it. It's all got little spinny teeth on the back, and no one will come. No one will come. It's all about, you know, who you know, what you know. And yeah, it's such a small area. Unless there's a guy that's doing a paddy field next door, it's not worth them it's not worth them the time apparently to change over their attachment and drive down here just for like a 20-30 minute job to do this. So we're stuck with it like this. So I said to Toon, I said, well, we need the Napier sorting out. I did say to her, I said, if I had my flipping rotavator from the UK, I'd have done the whole thing with a rotavator. I mean, it was a big rotavator. I'd have done a sort of like a strip at a time, put my sticks in and then done another strip. But so what I'm resorted to now is every time we get a downpour, I go and pin a load of Napier in. So I've got about 300 in there, and most of them are taken. Yeah, there you go. Another thing, guys, patience. So 5 years old, the bamboo. The palms, I think they're about 3 years old now. You've got to have patience. So many people, including my mum, yeah, I don't mind naming and shaming her. Leigh, when are you going to start making money on your farm? Well, we could make money in about 6 months if we put corn or rice in, or even quicker than that. But it's not the direction we're going, and I don't think we'll ever go in that direction. Yes, I have grown corn, but that was, we had a bit of it, but it was mainly for the goats. So, you know, a lot of farming, unless you're going to do a quick turnaround or something like animals and stuff like that, you've got to have the patience. And it's sticking with it. That's the thing. It'd be very easy to us, like 3 years down the line, oh, I've only started getting palm nuts and we're not getting many. Oh, dates are doing really well, let's take out the palms and put dates in there instead. Then you wait another couple of years before you get them. And that's what I have seen happen quite a lot round here. You know, there was a big thing about, oh, eucalyptus, you know, and the price was going quite well. Loads of people putting eucalyptus in. And halfway through we were having Fangorn Forest taken down, the price plummeted. People are taking out the eucalyptus now, which is no bad thing, because it's not great for the soil. What I am happy about though is this neighbouring farm behind us here is basically all eucalyptus all the way down there now. So the brilliant thing with that is there's no more spraying. Yeah, sometimes they, but when they cut and sell, sometimes some of them burn afterwards. But generally speaking, for weed control, they put a tractor or an iron buffalo between the rows, and that's it. People don't even bother with synthetic fertilizers. So as far as runoff comes from that side, that's one side taken care of. It's fantastic news for us. Less people out there as well. You don't get so many people hunting rats in eucalyptus farms, whereas if it was all still cassava or corn, rice, then people would be out after the rats and such things. Another thing is sort of like try to sort of like go with the flow a little bit, because when people come round sometimes they're like, flipping heck, how'd you keep on top of this? I'm like, well, you can't. How can you keep on top of that? We just do what we can. So in here is all new Napier cuttings. Some of them have made it, some haven't. I've probably put them in a little bit too early. I was irrigating them as best as I could, but the weeds are growing in there. Well, so what? The Napier will strangle them in the future. So you can see the Napiers that are a little bit older here. And you know, once the root stock gets established, yeah, there's climbing weed there, but you can see it's a lot clearer as you go on. But you're looking there, it's pretty scary stuff. And if Toon wasn't Wonder Woman, I'd have to go in there. Well, I still have to go in there, but I'm just carrying it. She's cutting it. Yeah, we pull a few unwanted weeds out. But the way we look at it now is this isn't weeds to me and Toon anymore. This is goat food. So it's having the right perspective. You know, when we first moved here and we put the palms in, some of you remember our old Kubota paddy tractor that had the old discs on the back, or was it? Yeah, discs. And I was driving up and down every day Not every day, but it felt like it sometimes. It's such a good laugh. You know, there wasn't a weed in sight. It didn't help the palms. In fact, it made it worse. It just drying the soil out. So yeah, some people don't like to see weeds on farms. If you've got livestock, a lot of the weeds are your friends. A lot of the weeds, I dare say, are more nutritionally packed than something like a grass. You know, it's there's a lot of goodness in a lot of these wiry weeds and dark green leaved climbing weeds. There's some here. So it doesn't have to be all Napier. You know, if you let your livestock out and see them grazing, spend a bit of time with them, you'll see what they like, and you'll soon see if it gives them the trots and it's not too good for them, or if they have too much of it. So it's keeping your eyes open and keep learning. So one of the things we've learned is I don't really like eucalyptus, so when these get cut out, we may keep some for another cut after another year, but eventually we'd like nearly all the eucalyptus out. We'll probably keep a row right at the back of the farm that keeps the fence up, and just keep cutting them at the top of the barbed wire flush with that. Just keep it for our own building materials, because most of the building's done now. What I'd say about farming, one of the bits of advice I'd give is make sure you spend a little bit of time actually enjoying it. I mean, we enjoy it all, apart from irrigation pipe work. I absolutely loathe that, installing that. I don't mind ripping it out because I hate it. But what I mean is, yeah, I'm having a walk round now, and I'm just looking. I'm not thinking, oh, I've got to go down there and cut that. I've got to go down there and move that. You are actually looking at what you've created. I mean, when we first got here, this was all bare soil, and where the lake was just basically bogland. You know, you could only grow stuff on this land for half a year at a time. So yeah, just pace yourselves, and don't be too hard on yourself. It's one of the things that I've always struggled with, really. Giving myself a break, you know, when we did things wrong, or things were taking too slow, the price would drop on something, or you know, sometimes it would feel that every time that we wanted to make a few baht, something would happen, and you know, and you just think, oh my god, it's only us. It's not. It's happens to a lot of farmers, a lot of farmers, and it's keeping your resilience up, keep the belief up, and going back to getting the right team around you. This is our team, but you know, the boss of the team, of course, is Toon, and I think you need someone that you can lean on, rely on. You know, she never moans going out cutting food for the goats. She never moans giving them shots, although it is a big ask now with so many goats. It's a 2-hour job in the house. There's very limited airflow in there, so it's very sweaty. Goats are trying to headbutt you because they don't like injections, same as me, same as you as well, isn't it? Can't actually remember that one. Should do, no, it's chopstick. That's it. It was either chopstick or straw. 2 skinny ones. Remember you, Long Long, and of course Tong Tay. Got his pyjamas on. Yeah, so don't be fooled to think that you can do it all. You can't. You know, I know there are some superhuman people out there, and they'll do a few acres all on their own. But I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not mustard like that. I'm not sure Toon could or would. But that's another thing, I suppose, a bit of a tangent, but you know, if Toon wasn't here, not only could I not do it, I don't think I'd want to do it. You know, sharing this is half the fun, and if the fun goes, Leigh goes. I'm instant gratification. If I'm not having a good time, I'm gone. So that's it. God, it went on a bit, didn't it? It was only a simple question. What do you reckon about farming? Got me going. Passion. That's what it's all about. Passion. And sometimes we lose our passion, don't we? I'm not on about, you know what. So for me, it was YouTube, actually. I was starting to lose my passion for YouTube. Camera issues, all that sort of stuff. Not having enough time to do it. And thinking, everyone's seen everything now. You know, we've got the goats, done the goat houses, we've done crayfish. I'm going to do a new playlist for that, guys. Beginner's guide from start to finish, crayfish. I've been asked by three separate people to be their mentors. Who am I to refuse? So you're going to learn loads about crayfish. Might even do an ebook. Everyone's doing ebooks now, aren't they? I don't know what one is, but I might do one. Yeah, and just having people around energizes you. I've been in contact on and off with Adam for quite a few years, actually, and yeah, although we'd never met each other before, I obviously recognised his profile on YouTube. He's done a bit of YouTubing as well, and you know, to finally meet someone that's followed your story, and you know, reminiscing about some of the earlier stuff, it sort of like gives you a bit of a buzz as a creator, and it fires you up again. And I think one of the, I hope you don't mind me saying, Adam, but one of the nicest things he said was, what might seem boring to you, Leigh, just walking around and thinking, oh well, you've seen everything already, he says, for him, being stuck in a hotel room when he's working away or whatever, you know, that half an hour, or even if it's 10 minutes, there's a bit of an escapism, because his long-term future sees his long-term future as being out here and doing something similar. Maybe not on the same scale, but you know, his heart's out here. And I should bear that in mind sometimes, you know, as a creator, Toon and myself, include her, we do feel a bit of an obligation sometimes that a lot of you have an invested interest in what's going on here, and you know, when I don't feel like picking up the camera, sometimes I still should do that. It might come over a little bit somber one time. We all know we've got some somber videos, and show you the non so glamorous side of farming. But yeah, that is farming, isn't it? That is farming. It's ups and downs, and part of our farming setup here is the YouTube channel. So yeah, we're going to be getting back into the groove a little bit more, and some late nights auditing, not auditing, it's because we're talking about work as well, editing. So I'm going to be even more tired. Don't feel sorry for me, you can if you like. And yeah, we'll get back into it, won't we? And probably be rich, wouldn't I? I could do 2 videos a day, 7 days a week. Then I could get some more help on the farm. And Adam, thanks very, very much for making this video possible. And you know why, mate. Much appreciated. You're a legend.